Kourtney Kardashian is at long last terminating back at Kim and Khloe after they went through months openly concealing her. And it seems as though Kourtney is presently getting down on her sisters for utilizing proxies as opposed to conveying their own children. And afterward you take the youngster. And you're similar to bye thank you kindly. I figure the proper thing to do is to have them come see the child eventually, under the steady gaze of they leave Kourtney, who's as of now expecting her most memorable kid, with spouse Travis Barker, as of late posted another pregnancy photograph. And fans are persuaded the subtitle was aimed at Kim and Khloe, scrutinizing them for paying substitutes to convey their children. And this comes only months after Khloe freely conceded that she's battling to security with her child and genuinely regrets taking him from his proxy mother. I felt truly remorseful that like this lady just had my child in here. I take the child, and afterward I go to another room. And you're somewhat isolated like I felt. It's such a value-based encounter. Concerning Kim, she was recently blamed for lying about her pregnancy difficulties. And many fans accept she picked proxies for her third and fourth kids, said she would have rather not destroyed her figure clearly. I would like to have my own child, definitely, yet I feel like I really couldn't say whether my body can deal with it once again. So what did Kourtney say about Kim and Khloe utilizing substitutes? She truly disgracing them for not conveying their children. We should get into it this Saturday. While the child is in the belly, why she feels like it has an impact, I don't realize. Kourtney Kardashian is being blamed for tossing conceal at her sisters, Kim and Khloe, after she shared a remark that gives off an impression of being reproachful of her sister's decision to utilize proxies, as opposed to conveying their own infants. Back in June, Kourtney declared she was expecting her most memorable kid with husband Travis Barker, and her due date is accepted to be among October and December 2023. Kourtney and Travis were attempting to imagine for some time, and after a few fruitless rounds of IVF, they chose to shut down all therapies and allowed nature to follow all the way through. Kourtney made sense of at the time that assuming she's truly intended to have a child with Travis, it would happen normally, and she likewise clarified that she could never utilize a proxy in the meantime. Presently, under the steady gaze of Kourtney, declared her pregnancy. Khloe conceded during an episode of The Kardashians that she's battling to security with her child Tatum, since he was conceived through substitute. Do you feel less associated? A few fans likewise guess that the genuine explanation Khloe was battling to security with Tatum is on the grounds that not long after Khloe's proxy became pregnant, she figured out that her child daddy Tristan Thompson had fathered a kid with Marilee Nichols. One way or another, fans scrutinized Khloe for expressing everything about her child on the unscripted TV drama, bringing up that Tatum will one day watch this. Yet that is not all Khloe said during a similar episode. She additionally conceded that she felt remorseful about taking Tatum from his substitute mother, and she portrayed the entire experience as conditional. Anyway, fans had relatively little compassion toward Khloe, considering she had every one of the assets to teach herself about what surrogacy is truly similar to. Yet rather, she essentially regarded the entire cycle as another product buy. In the meantime, fans additionally hammered Kim in light of the fact that Khloe chose to utilize the proxy. Kim was the person who urged her to get it done, and she continually went on and on about how it was the most astounding experience. However, at that point, when Khloe conceded she's battling to security with her child, Kim completely changed her story and said conveying your own kid couldn't measure up to utilizing a substitute when the child is in your stomach. The child truly feels your genuine heart. What's insane is that when Khloe showed up on Kelly Clarkson's show last October, she said that if not for Kim, she couldn't ever have proceeded with the surrogacy. The second time I did surrogacy, and it's astonishing anyway. During a new episode of The Kardashians, Khloe said she wished somebody was straightforward with her about what surrogacy is truly similar to. I wish somebody spoke the truth about surrogacy and its distinction. Yet it doesn't mean it's terrible or great. It's as yet extraordinary, it's super unique to this and many fans, said Khloe ought to have overlooked Kim's recommendation in light of the fact that Kim has been known to disrupt others, even her own sisters. And on second thought, Khloe ought to have paid attention to Kourtney, who recently cautioned her she shouldn't trifle with surrogacy. One fan on Reddit said Khloe committed a gigantic error by drawing nearer to Kim and sidelining Kourtney on the grounds that Kim is a sociopath who loves seeing Khloe bomb. She gets off on being the best and delightful sister. We saw it in the surrogacy scene. The fan-composed Kim went through months telling Khloe surrogacy is astounding and empowering it now. That Khloe is having limits, she digs the blade in by saying no doubt is not a similar the child to didn't feel your pulse. Kourtney couldn't have ever urged Khloe to get a proxy for vanity purposes. In the meantime, Kim herself was recently blamed for involving proxies for vanity purposes. And however, she guaranteed she had unexpected problems during her initial 2 pregnancies that kept her from getting pregnant again. Many fans accept that she overstated these issues, and that the genuine explanation she would have rather not conveyed additional children is on the grounds that she put on a ton of weight during her initial 2 pregnancies. Kim truly conceded during her appearance on Kristen Chime's web recording that she loathed being pregnant, and she said she cried constantly in light of the fact that she didn't look charming. I was not a charming pregnant individual. I could have done without it. I despised it. Kim said I detested how I believed I loathed how I looked. I was so used to seeing my mother pregnant, my sister pregnant, and everybody looking so charming, and having these simple conveyances, and life was perfect. And they snapped right back that wasn't me during a similar meeting. Kim whined about how she actually didn't have an exercise center in her home when she brought forth North. And since she was too humiliated to even think about going to a public rec center, she worked out in Kris Jenner's carport. I acquired 70 pounds. Kim said I would sit in my mother's carport. And it was in a real sense presumably 150 degrees in Calabasas. In the late spring I'd have my girl in a buggy, and I'd sit her in there, and I would resolve in the carport and attempt to do whatever I might until I didn't. And it was a result of remarks like these that a few fans estimated that Kim either faked her unexpected problems or misrepresented them so she could utilize a substitute without individuals blaming her for being shallow. And now that Kourtney shared another pregnancy post, saying she's honored and respected to convey her own child, fans are contemplating whether Kourtney is tossing conceal at her sisters for utilizing substitutes. Kourtney as of late posted a progression of photographs on IG flaunting her pregnant tummy in a swimsuit. And she wrote in the subtitle, "Developing you within me, my child, is the best gift, honor, and happiness." A ton of fans leaped to the remarks to say that Kourtney's inscription seemed like she was tossing some unpretentious shade at her sisters, Kim and Khloe, for not conveying their own children, particularly since Khloe, as of late, openly conceded she didn't do the legitimate examination to comprehend the surrogacy cycle. Simple. This isn't simple. I certainly avoided reality during that pregnancy that I didn't process what was occurring. Thus, I think, when I went to the clinic, I truly imagine that was whenever that first truly enlisted, and has nothing to do with the child. So after Kourtney shared her pregnancy photographs, saying it's a gift and distinction to grow a child within you, a few fans comprehended this as Kourt concealing her sisters for utilizing proxies. I feel like she's getting down on her sisters for utilizing proxies, one fan remarked. And someone else said, all out dig to the sisters who didn't. They were more stressed over their bodies. Props to you for keeping it genuine anyway. There were likewise a ton of fans who leaped to Kourtney's safeguard and said she undoubtedly wasn't in any event pondering Kim and Khloe when she composed that subtitle, and was most likely attempting to say that she's thankful to have the option to convey her own child at 40. Subsequent to battling with fruitfulness, one fan composed individuals are wiped out. She needed to battle for this child with her currently spouse. Obviously, this is exceptional. and a distinction to convey this kid. Yet what might be said about you? Do you think Kourtney was really tossing shade at Kim and Khloe for utilizing proxies? Let us in on in the remarks. And remember to look at this next video unfamiliar.